There's a quiet truth about wealth that most people just never learn. It's not about what you show, it's about what you build in the background, in silence. So today, we're not just giving advice, we're opening up the hidden playbook.
Just let that sink in for a second. We've all been trained to see the person with the luxury car as successful, right? But what if the real winner is the one driving the 10-year-old Toyota? What if the whole game you've been taught to play is actually rigged against you? That's not an accident. That is a strategy. Because the game of looking rich is a trap. And it's the very thing that keeps most people from ever actually becoming rich. And that leads us right into our first big idea, the visibility trap. This is the fundamental misunderstanding, the wrong turn that derails so many people before they even get started.
See, the moment your success becomes visible, that new car, the bigger house, that post about a promotion, you invite expectations. Suddenly, there's pressure. Pressure from other people, and maybe even worse, pressure from yourself to keep that image up. Your financial life slowly stops being yours.
Let's look at this through two different people. We'll call them Poor Peter and Rich Richard. Now, Peter, he's playing the game of performance. He's always consuming, always signaling his status. But Richard is playing a completely different game. It's a quiet game of investment and privacy. One path leads to constant external pressure, the other leads to internal freedom. And this is the part nobody ever tells you. So when you opt out of this whole flex culture, you have to understand it's not about depriving yourself, not at all. It's a strategic move. You're reclaiming your focus and you're reclaiming your capital. You're choosing to play a game you can actually win. Because the game of flexing, well, that's a game you can never win. Okay, so if that's the trap, how do you escape it? You don't fight the system head on. You build a better one that works for you, silently, in the background. It all starts with two foundational moves, and they're almost deceptively simple. First, you automate your savings and your investments, so the money is gone before you even see it, before you have a chance to spend it. Second, the moment you get a raise, you freeze your current lifestyle, you lock it in. See, real discipline isn't about willpower. It's about building a system that makes progress the default. This is how you win, quietly. There's this story of a teacher who automated just $50 a week into an investment account. For years, she barely even noticed it was gone. But that invisible, consistent action, it was quietly growing into a serious financial foundation. And here's the key. Wealth grows best when it's invisible, even to you. And this line just says it all, especially about that lifestyle freeze. A raise? That's temporary income. But by investing it instead of spending it, you turn it into a permanent income-producing asset. This is the single greatest wealth accelerator that most people completely miss out on. All right, so you've got your silent system running. Now we build the fortress around it. Because this isn't just about growing your wealth. It's about protecting it. And maybe even more important, it's about protecting your peace of mind. This one is absolutely crucial. You have to stop talking about money. Every hint about your salary, every complaint about taxes, every mention of a bonus, it's all financial data you're leaking out into the world. It creates expectations. So you learn to keep your answers simple, vague, almost boring. How are things? We're doing fine. Making it work. That's it. No details. Think about your emergency fund. It's your silent safety net. The moment people know it exists, it stops being for your emergencies and becomes a potential solution for theirs. The power of this fund is directly tied to how quiet you keep it. And this is a hidden advantage the wealthy understand and use. And that just brings us to the core of it. Let this one really sink in. The goal isn't just to have money. It's to have the freedom and the peace of mind that comes with it. And that is absolutely impossible without privacy. Okay, now we're heading into the engine room. This is where all those quiet, consistent actions you've taken, this is where they start to generate real, meaningful power. So poor Peter, he's always chasing the next hot thing, right? He's looking for excitement, he's listening to all the market noise. It's a recipe for anxiety and, usually, losses. Rich Richard's approach, honestly, it's boring. Boring index funds, regular contributions, he's focused on decades, not days. There's no hype, there's no noise. There's just the unstoppable force of quiet, steady compounding. And people who build wealth this way, they protect that compounding engine fiercely. They audit everything. Unused subscriptions, recurring fees that don't add real value, they get cut. Because they understand that protecting their capital from all these small, silent drains is just as important as growing it. This is what discipline looks like in action.
And this entire philosophy starts to show up in your biggest life decisions. You're not just managing your money differently anymore, you're actually opting out of the entire game of social comparison. And that is where the real power lies. Let's go back to our guys. Peter gets a raise, he immediately leases a new car, and now he has another monthly payment. Richard, he drives his paid-off car for another 5 years and invests what Peter's car payment would have been. Now fast forward 10 years. Richard has a growing pile of assets. Peter, he just has a pile of receipts.
And let's be really clear here. These are not sacrifices. They are deliberate, strategic choices. It's choosing long-term freedom over short-term appearances. Every single time. This all leads us to the final and honestly the most important piece of this puzzle. This isn't just about a set of actions you take. It's about a fundamental shift in your identity. It's about moving differently. This is the core secret of the entire playbook, a simple equation that governs everything. Privacy protects your capital and your peace. Automation removes the friction and the emotion. And consistency, well, consistency is the fuel for that quiet, compounding engine. So what is the ultimate goal in all of this? What's the real prize? The strongest form of wealth is the kind you don't feel the need to prove. It's not about trophies. It's about freedom. The freedom to choose, the freedom to grow, and the freedom to live life entirely on your own terms. Because when you follow this playbook, you build your future in private. And then one day you'll just wake up with this quiet, unshakable sense of freedom. And the best part, nobody will even know.